kick tracks here. Ladies and gentlemen, what a day this is. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. It's been a crazy 24 hours here in the market, but was it predicted? That's the theme of the show today. And the theme of the show, predicted by whom? Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the box above my head, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Garcia.
What's up, my peoples? How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. It has been a fun week. And it's been almost one of those things that I'm just like, well, we kind of saw it coming.
We did, and you did a while ago. Everybody threw shade your way, Pedro, in space,
All right.
Twitter space, X spaces groups all over, from Mario Knopfel to Zach Humphreys, the Breakfast Club, and Exotoshi's groups and other things like that. They all said, Pedro, you're crazy, man. Nobody wants to hear this. Pedro said, hey, it's going down into the like 58, 57, somewhere in there, 55. And I'm seeing levels right around 50,000. And sure enough, yesterday, what did we wick down to? And now have cleared further down into? That's right, into 49,000, ladies and gentlemen.
It's funny, I was listening to Marna Fall. I've got a feedback for whatever reason.
Test.
I don't have it on you, it's just me. Well,
Just hearing your own voice?
yeah, it's weird. Do you guys hear it or no? Is it me?
Nope. No, you're good here.
Typical storm watch warning. So I got off to. Oh, yeah. Florida is going through some craziness right now.
Yeah.
Dude, what is it? Betty is her name?
I don't know. All I know is that screwed up all the flights from Miami and places yesterday.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, it's funny how all this is happening. Everything's getting all messed up. And it's almost at the same time. It's almost like creating a, like, what's the word I want to use? A perfect storm in the financial. You like that, right? Yeah. But on the back end, I was sitting there listening to Marna Fall last night and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, listen, if you guys are going to buy on this market, go to the 50-day period moving average on the weekly chart. And you want to be buying around that area right now. And lo and behold, on the weekly chart, it bounced right around that area. We had a zone right there on the weekly chart, just sitting right here. And we have that 50 period move. And we talked about this.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that, you know, was the shock to us. I said it would probably bounce off of this, push back up, and then basically sell off. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty positive. We'll see maybe rally back up, hit the 8 period on the weekly. And then that 8 weekly is the daily where all the conjunction of the moving averages are sitting at between that 65,000 area. And then we should see it meandering down until we get down to that 40, 30,000-ish area. And I hope I am wrong, like I always say. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And I was hoping those guys would have listened to me. Hopefully they did. And they got in on the longs. Right there.
Are you guys hearing Pedro echo? I'm not hearing it. And I'm on the...
Mm-hmm.
Pedro, did you share your audio or something like that? You got. It's probably related to your screen share. I don't hear it, and we're using StreamYard today. Oh, what the hell is that? All right, let's see who we got here in the show today. We got Crypto Mike. It's like a weird off-sync echo. Well, Pedro's a little off-sync naturally, so we'll just go with that. Jason Spurgis in the house. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Really appreciate it.
Good to have you guys. And you got the weekend off? Or the week off? Probably,
Tom
right?
Oliver from Operation Phoenix Room. Thanks for clicking the link and joining us.
Definitely. Thanks for having us,
and
man.
why do you have Boris as your as your profile there. Are you from the great country of the United Kingdom?
Because
Jeff
Boris,
Jansen, busy, but got you playing in the desktop.
excuse
See you
me,
around when I
Boris
can.
is not from the United Kingdom. His alter ego is from it. Boris is from oh, what is it? Shoot, I know I'm forgetting what it's called. Is it Latvia? Is where the character's from?
No, I'm talking about the former Prime Minister of England or the United Kingdom, Boris
Oh
Johnson.
shoot, I'm thinking about the comedian Boris.
Oh, yes, Tom's in the UK. Well, thanks for joining us. On the show thing, I got the UTC time all screwed up, but I guess you got the notification. So thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Pedro, bring up another chart that we can see better there. That one I can't see it at all because I'm outside. But I'm guessing the viewers have a tough time seeing it too. Oh yeah, Boris Yeltsin. That was Russia, right? But I have to say, while Pedro's bringing us a chart we can see, you normally have a Bitcoin one up there that we can see very well.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, for those of you that started watching this implosion yesterday, it was around, let's see, I flew from Chicago to Toronto yesterday, and as I was landing in Toronto, I started seeing little hints of these things going down. And one of the giveaways yesterday was a market pump that, I'm not that good at this. Pedro is the man here for this. But I saw all of a sudden the market was pumping, and I was like, wait a minute. Pedro says they're gonna push it up to make it go down, and I was like, it seemed out of the ordinary. It didn't match any of the moving averages that were going on. I was like, something's being manipulated here. And so fortunately, I had some stuff that I was waiting to get out of Matic.
It's really
And
important to put in also when you say moving averages, short-term moving averages,
right,
right? Because the long-term,
right,
because it was going up against it, but the higher time frame was directing the short-term direction.
right. And like I was looking, I'll say the 5 and 15 minute chart, the intraday charts, 5, 15 hour long chart, that type of stuff. And it just started going weird, and I was like, something's up here. And so I moved the Matic I had out of Matic and into USDT.
Nice.
Yeah, I moved it, and Matic was at 60 cents, and Matic went down to 37 cents or.
Oh, it hit our zone. Sorry.
Yeah, the Matic zone you predicted also.
Yeah.
It came in, and I was also trading some Caspa, and on our partner BitFi, I might add.
Nice.
And I was doing well, lots of little trades and all that, and I put a larger trade in, meaning I used about $100 margin with 20x leverage, and I did really well. I had a trade that was about, I'd say I was up $300, and I've never done that in the futures markets. It was just it was mostly luck because I hit the timing well.
No,
Said,
it wasn't luck.
Oh, I can do this again. No, I mean that it was larger than, not just that it was a winning trade, that it was $300. I normally don't do that. I get $20 and $30.
But remember what I said. It is first base. Like you're always wanting to get on bad. You hit first and seconds, first or what is it? First and doubles or singles and doubles,
Yeah,
singles and
singles and
doubles, singles
doubles.
and doubles, singles and W's, and then you get a third base. And then okay,
Triple.
singles and double. Yeah, you hit a triple, and then you go singles and doubles, singles and doubles, singles and doubles. Then you hit a triple, and then you'll hit a home run, and you'll hit a. You know what I'm saying? That's how we play the game.
Right. And so I'm happy. I was happy. I was like, oh, this is good. And then I have a bonus wallet from BitFi, a $300 bonus wallet. It's like play money. And so, but if you make any profits, you can take the profits out of it. And so it's very low risk, since it was not your money. I put a bet on, and I'll call this one a bet. I said, oh, it's going to reverse here, but I'm going to use the play money because I don't have that much thing. And I was right, and I was like, yes, yes. But it was, I made like $20 on it because it was the play money, very low margin. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put another one on, and I used the percentage of margin, and so I hit the 50% button, and I didn't realize I was on a different tab, and the different tab had my regular wallet selected. And so I did 50% of my regular wallet at 20x leverage. And all of a sudden I clicked at it, and just a small candle, red candle appeared. I'm sorry, green candle. Green candle appeared because I was going short. And I thought to myself, hey, I'm already down $25, and it's just a small candle. Something's wrong here. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked at my phone again, like this, looked at my screen, like something's out of sync here. And I looked back up, and I'm down $250. And I'm like, what? And I realized I was in the wrong wallet, and I had $600 margin. And it was just a classic rookie mistake. I thought I was trading in my no-risk bonus wallet, and it turns out I was trading in my main account. And I risked half my bag, which is not something you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, unless you're just a pure gambler. And I lost $200 right away. And so I said, all right, pause, reevaluate, let the emotions go down. And so I walked away with $100 out of that. So I'm happy. I made a mistake, but it was a learning mistake in how to. And it was really wasn't a trading mistake. It was an organization. How to keep your tabs open and make sure that you're in the right tab before you make a trade. So good things happened during this downturn. I mean, obviously it was a place that if I was an actual trader, I could have taken advantage of it and made thousands of dollars. But I'm not. I'm a student, and so I don't like to take much risk. And the one time I kind of did, it bit me because I was in the wrong wallet.
I don't think it bit you. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna leave and come back in.
All right, Pedro's having a little technical difficulties with his audio, but I don't know how many else of you guys understand that if you zoom out on the chart, and I'll have Pedro do that when he comes back in. You zoom out on the chart, it still looks great. I mean, we're only back down to the levels that we were at, a month ago. It's not like, oh my God, it's so terrible. I mean, it's terrible that it happened in such a short period of time, but what a buying opportunity. This is like, as they say, you don't get rich chasing green candles. You get rich buying when the market's down. And that's what we're doing right now. And so I highly suggest if anyone's got some extra cake in the to invest, is that you look for your opportunities in these down markets. I still sound far away. I'm holding the mic right here. I wonder if I have the right mics. My music also went away because I do not have it on loop. We're going to put the daydreaming background on. Here comes Pedro. All right, Pedro, what do you got for me here?
All right, can you hear me? Dang it, it's still there.
Hold on, I'm going to put myself on mute, and then you talk.
Okay, it's not there. Nice. Oh, it might be because you're... All right. I understand now. Okay, great. Oh, there it is now because you just unmuted it.
So why would my microphone send you back?
Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Because it hears me through your system. Yeah, sometimes it just
all right.
works.
Now check it. Check now.
What about now? Can you hear me? Oh, perfect, dude. I don't hear it anymore. Perfect.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Can you guys hear it? Oh, there it is. You sound far away, Tom. Actually, to me, you sound very clear now. It's perfect. 46 Bitcoin is what I think is coming. Am I crazy? No, man. Absolutely not. Let's actually talk about the charts here real quick because it's one of those things that we can sit there. So right now we're playing off the 50-period moving average on the weekly chart. We talked about this, so this isn't anything. I said we're going to have a reaction off of this 50 period moving average on that weekly chart with the weekly zone. So you can see it pretty clear here. It came down, pushed back up. The fact that we pierced through this 50 period, and also that this zone kind of went through kind of like butter and then came back, shows to me that it's probably going to end up going lower. But before it goes lower, again, they they exhausted all of the all of the buyers, right? The buyers are like, forget that, we just got crushed. So so what's going to happen is they're going to go through and they're playing now here. So they're going to probably push it back up to the 62,000 area here. On that daily chart, I would assume probably right up in this level here. That's what I'm looking at. And then the next part from here, come on, there you are. We should see it pretty much kind of rally where that 8 period moving average is sitting and where we're seeing the SMA sitting right here on that daily chart. One of the biggest things to be paying attention to is how we're pushing up, right? If we're pushing up, and if you're looking at that, that 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour charts, and we're not putting a lot of demand wicks in, then most likely they're going to end up turning it around and push it down, simply because there's nothing there to really hold it on higher time frames, right? So we want to be paying attention to that up in this level. So if we see it pushing up at these levels, now I'm going to take off my demand zone here. This was the demand zone that we talked about on Friday. On that daily, right, we were coming down into this. We bounced off a little. I mean, we just sold right through it though, right? So forgive me. I keep burping here. I just had breakfast here. So one thing I've realized, if I do not eat, I fall asleep. So for whatever reason, because
You
it's
have
such,
that, Pedro.
yeah. So I'm getting better at figuring out, because an hour of just straight talking and using your brain, and while at the same time having to read comments, and then at the same time I've realized my brain goes, dude, you're overclocking me, bro. Like I can't handle this.
Brain
I'm
is
going to
over.
go to sleep. All right, especially 2 hour shots. So it's been actually pretty cool. Just simple, just eggs and um, pyracesium is what they call it, I believe. Really good for my body. Anyway, so jumping back here, what we were talking about, let's focus here. As we're pushing up here, we want to sit there and see if we're going to continue up. We're going to see more demand wicks as we're moving up into this level right here at that 61,000. If we're not, then most likely they're just getting ready to turn it around and spank the institutions are getting ready to spank the novices here again. So it's one of those things to be paying attention to. But the biggest key is as we're looking into that level, we also want to see, can we take advantage of it? Right? So you can sit there and see there are no demand wicks here down that 30 minutes. So we're probably going to come back down, test that 51,000 mark area to see if we can push back up to these levels here of that 62,000. Most likely, as we're pushing up, we'll see it also come back when it hits these levels. We're going to see it come back down to that 41,000, because the next real level, this is important to be looking at, is that weekly 8 right here, or excuse me, weekly 89, which is at 16 or 39,000 to 49, or excuse me, 41,000 area. And then and this is important as well, is that monthly 20 period moving average sitting right here. This right here is one of my things I'm looking at going, it's got to come test this because it's already pierced. We're going to end up putting in either a big old huge Mariposa candle where we close the rest of the month down at this level, and then into September come down first to go up, right? So either they put a giant Mariposa candle, if you want to look that up, it's Mariposa, just say that into your,
Otherwise known as a big mambo jamba.
yeah, the God candle, but down.
Right.
Or a hell candle is what you want to call it. All right, so a big old candle coming down here, closes down in this level, and then we'll see in September it go down first to go up. If we see it go up first to go down, then we're probably going to have an issue here again, where it's going to continue down into the 20s. But yeah, and don't, again, this isn't anything to freak out about, okay? Because this just gives institutions the ability to buy in at lower levels that they're trying to. Okay, once they're able to buy in and get the amount of Bitcoin that they want, then they're going to sit there and say, all right, let's let it run. And boom, you have the 2024 real rally, right? That we'll see. But they won't let it rally until they get everything that they want. And I believe the majority of the stuff that they want is down at that 30 and 20,000 area. If not, and I've said this before, 10,000 Bitcoin and even 5,000 Bitcoin is possible, especially if this thing really gets wheels and starts to run, right? And at those levels, everybody in crypto is going to be crying and say, "We're done. I'm never going to come back. I am now crushed. I will sell everything." And then that's when the institutions go, "Oh yeah, you know." Are you there?
All the bros that have BTC on their license plates and be
Yeah.
selling their rice burners.
Bro.
Where's our buddy Jesus when we need him? The auto sales are going to be, his lot's going to be full of cars, all with BTC license plates on it. Welcome to the show, BidFi Stella.
Oh, what's up, Stella? Good to have
let's
you.
do this while I got a
Stella.
let me get the brand up here. As we all know, BidFi is a sponsor of our channel here. Sign up via our link in the body of the description here and claim up to, actually, this is just a minimum, claim up to 2,888 USDT. There's other awards that, frankly, and sorry, Stella, I don't have it right yet. I don't fully understand the complete campaigns and how they work and how I need to track them and all that. I don't quite get it yet because I've been busy with some other things. But I'll get there. All I know is that Stella says, what does she say? What's Stella's line? Free money, ladies and gentlemen. Free money, everybody. And I mean, what can we give away more? What's better than free money, right? Now, and why is this important? And we started this relationship just a few weeks ago. It's because even in a down market, and we're trying to teach you to be responsible, not just investors, but traders too, you can use perpetual contracts in order to play the market on the downside. And now you don't need to use leverage. You can just use a perpetual contract like a spot market, meaning that you're not risking more capital than you have. And we want everyone obviously to play safe and not take risks that they can't afford to lose with their money. But we do want you to learn about the markets. We've had a number of viewers ask about, I don't really understand shorting the market. And we're called DYOR Media here for a reason. We want to teach you to do your own research in order so you can make better informed decisions. And Stella comes up and says, deposit $100 and get $100 in bonus money. And if I'm correct, Stella, correct me if I'm wrong, the bonus money goes into a separate wallet in which you can't withdraw that bonus money. You can trade with it. And if you make profits with it, you can trade. You can, like, say you have a $100 bonus and you make $25. You can take that $25 and put it into your regular wallet. And so it's a good way to practice trading with very low risk, using someone else's money. That's the best way to do it. Mike is already on BidFi. I find it awesome, except my vouchers would never work. Stella, contact Mike there and figure out how to get his vouchers to work. I personally, I probably have not been teaching you guys correctly how to set it up and make sure your bonus wallet is set up and all that, because I haven't been that astute in it myself. I'm just learning. Pedro dropped off for a minute there. Oh, he's back. Pedro seems to be having some connection issues there. And Pedro, if you could get an avatar, all you've got is the OBS logo up there. Stella says, I made $500 with a $200 bonus. Worth it. All right. Thank you, Stella. Not only that, but you can also practice on their demo trading platform here. BidFi has a great demo trading platform in which it's totally practice. You can take obscene risks. And let me tell you, when it's not your money, how easy it is to make. In the demo trading thing, you can say, oh, this is easy. You can just keep doubling down until you're a millionaire. But what it does teach you is teaches you how to use the platform well. Demo trading never really teaches you risk well because it's real money. So I highly suggest using the demo trading part of their platform in order to learn how to trade. And ask Pedro and I what terms mean, what things mean, and we'll let you know. But anyway, that's my pitch about BidFi right now. Remember, Stella says free money, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro's enjoying that.
Hey, Stella! Stella!
Oh, we're gonna get a copyright mark from that.
Where's my free money? So sorry. Forgive me, Stella. I had to. I've been meaning to play that forever since you were on.
Stella, if you haven't seen the movie Streetcar Named Desire, you need to go watch it because it's all about your name.
It is all.
And frankly, I don't know Stella's real name. I know her real name, but I can't pronounce
it. It's the best.
As typical as many people with unpronounceable to us English speakers Asian names, they take an English name. Pedro just loves that movie.
I look forward to meeting you one day, Stella. Forgive me. You'll be like, who is this guy? Some fat, long-haired guy. I'm like, what's up? She'll be like, get away from me, dude. I'll be like, she
must know it because she says, never get tired of that, huh? Well, we got Pedro laughing.
Oh my goodness. Woo, got me sweating over here.
All right, Pedro, let's back up to
I
think it was Jason's comment about 46,000.
Yeah.
Where does that fit in your, and I have a follow-up question to that, in your going down to the weekly 20 period moving average?
So that 20,000-ish, or excuse me, the 46,000 is sitting around where the 400-day period moving average is sitting. So it's sitting around on 47, 46. So a lot of times what you see, and I'll point out the weekly, you can see here that the weekly 8-period moving average is sitting about 50,000, but the market came all the way down to the 49,000. The reason why they do that is because they stop out everybody who has price. Basically, all the traders who have small margins or guys who can't handle the risk, but especially when the market is moving, they go through and they take those stops. So this guy right here at the thumbs.
What has 2 thumbs to get stopped out all the time? This guy.
This guy. So it's funny because it's like, and it's not bad. It's just part of, because they got it, and I don't even think they mean to do it. Wrongly. I remember I have a friend of mine, his name is John Rowland, and I would say more of an associate. I mean, I don't know if you would call me his friend or not, but he was one of my trading mentors, and he used to basically, him and his family basically were his father, his grandfather ran the oil pit for the CME. Even though they didn't run it, they were one of the biggest, largest traders, right? And so this guy would go through and he would go through and he would have his stops at certain levels, and he would run to grab stops or for his orders so he could make the market go up. And there is this little trader on the floor that he would just demolish over and over and over. So finally one of his guys comes up to him and asks him, hey dude, why do you just keep demolishing them, dude? And he goes, what are you talking about? And he goes, dude, every time he gets in long, bro, you take his stop. And he goes, I'm not trying to take his stop. And the guy goes, what do you mean? And he goes, dude, that's just where I know the price wants to go. And so all of a sudden it made me, as John Rowland was telling the story in his class, I sat there and I was just started cracking up going, these guys aren't trying. It's just that they're looking for orders, right? They're looking for buys, or they're looking for shorts, right? Or sell marks so they can buy too. Right, so it's not intentional. It's just simply that they realize that people are going to have, like here, it's selling off, right? So there's going to be buy orders sitting here. Well, at this level, this is where, or shorts, this is where sellers are going to be sitting so that they can fill their buy orders too. And that's how you really want to look at it, right? Is that, where the institutions are looking to find their buy orders. And you don't want that to be your or they're short orders, they're stops, right? Because you're looking to go long, and so you have to put a buy order or a sell order right here. Well, they need a sell order to fulfill that buy that they're trying to put in. So that's why they end up taking your stop, not intentionally. but it's just partly part of the institutional game that they need, that they're always looking for orders. So jumping back to what we were saying here, that 400 period moving average is sitting about that 40,000 or 47,000 mark. Below it are going to be a bunch of stops sitting there because people are most likely going to be going long at this level, because there's also a weekly zone and a kind of daily zone down in this level right here. So I can sit there, they can see what's going on in the order books because blockchain is open to everyone. So they can sit there and see it and go, okay, I want to take it down to here because we know that there's going to be a bunch of uh, buy orders or sell orders down at the lower level. So that's why both work.
All right, so a number of times from various different people, and I'm sure you're going to say, yeah, of course, Tom, that makes complete sense. That 20 period or 21 period, whichever one you're using, I forget if you use 20 or 21.
I use 20.
20. In all time frames, really, except the 1 minute, really, but is very important because it's just enough time where it seems like it's that sweet spot where they have to come back. The spread, the 20-day period is only 20 periods, 20 minutes, or 20 times 5 minutes, or 20 days, or 20 weeks, or 20 months. The spread can't go like that forever because it's only 20 periods. So eventually they have to come back. And you were just talking about how the God candle could bring it back to that on the weekly chart, 50-week 20 period. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, weekly chart, or excuse me, monthly chart. Monthly chart, 20 period moving average, right here.
So it's there, it's below it, and they've got the spread, like if any, comparing one thing to another in anything mathematically, spreads can't go on an infinity,
right?
In the financial markets, because otherwise you have the infinite money machine, and only Michael Saylor and in the U.S. Fed can have the infinite money machine. And so eventually those have to come back. But the trick is you don't know the time frame. I mean, you can guess the time frame, but like you're saying, it might bring the God candle now and it might need, or it might slowly get to that with lots of up and downs.
Yep.
In September, like you said. But eventually they have to at least start coming back to each other. They may not hit each other, or they may cross and go berserk if they do cross. But I wanted to point that out for Mike and the crew that are starting to use the perpetual screens, is that make sure you have those moving averages up, and make sure you have the 8 period, and whether it's from a non-professional like Pedro, as long as you have a very short-term one and like a 7 or 8 period, a 21 or 20 or 21 period, and then like a 50 and a 200. If you're going to trade short-term, the shorter ones are more important. Make sure you look at that 20 period one and make it a bright color so you can see it, because it's really important, and it does give you a good short-term view on how the market's going. And I was noticing that, and then I heard Pedro talk about it. I heard someone else talk about it, and I'm like, that's probably the basics of it that I learned, 40 years ago or 38 years ago when I first started doing this, and have completely forgotten.
It's interesting. I would have loved to have been on the floor, like really when in its heyday, with the knowledge that I have today, because man, it would have been so fun to sit there and just like be part of the screaming of giving, give me 10, 15 contracts, go, boom, 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 right? With your finger movements, like we're gang members, right? Like, da-da-da-da-da. And it would have been so cool just to be a part of that history, I mean, today.
120. Oh, it
Yeah.
depended on the pit that you were in. Like in oil, they traded large sizes. So this may be 100. In another pit, this is 10. This is 1.
Yeah.
10. And I love learning that, sell it at 1, at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5. And that's not 6. You turn your hand sideways and 6. 6 is just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the size was always the same. But you had the quantity was different in every pits depending on what they traded. And also when you traded futures and options, you had the month. Like they'd be like, if it was in May, the month was May, you didn't have to specify the month. That was the current month. That was the spot month. But if you traded the futures, you played June, you'd have to wiggle your fingers for June or something like that. Pedro, where'd you go? Pedro dropped off again. It's Crypto Mike. That's not how this works. Want to sponsor me too? I'll have a segment on how to trade like a degen. Oh, well, I'm going to take this time to welcome everyone on Twitter or on X following us. I really appreciate you. There's lots of good stuff going on X right now. Zach Humphreys, Crypto Breakfast was on today. Lots of good alpha on that. We've overlapped with it today because we had to go early. It's another one of these Canadian holidays, of which they have thousands of, and it's a provincial one for Ontario. And so it's the day off, and Mrs. Striking has the day off, so we plan travel. And I forget that the whole rest of the world is still up and trading today. So we're driving. So I've only got about 15 minutes left in the show. All we really wanted to talk about was Bitcoin and this, what's it doing? Pedro, I think one of the best things is in the short term are there any market indicators for the short term on the chart? Or is this all we got to wait and see if they're going to bull trap everybody, say, oh, it's starting to go up, and then just dump on them, take their liquidity?
Yeah, it's really that. I mean, it's really just simply they're going to drop it to push it back up. I really don't see a lot of buyers really stepping in until we really start to see real buyers kind of come in. As you can see, I mean, here's ADA. ADA came down into our zone, came and bounced off, right? But even if you and this is a good example of what's actually happening. What's actually happening in this market is that, look, we came down to this area. I put some buyers in, as you can see, but it's just simply the push back up it's just following the trend. And we can see this with all the major coins out there. Look, here's our 4-hour zone, right? Boom, we're popping up. So we've got to see if it's going to be able to truly put in some, and the reason I'm saying this is if you look at the volume in relationship to a lot of these, right? Like Ton sell off to our lower end, right? Of the 470 or the $4 and the 473 area to that 450, right? Like we're almost here. So I'm like, nice. I want to buy in at Ton at $3, right? That 380 mark to the 460 mark. This is my area, right? Let's look at Solana. Solana's the same thing. Look, you can see here you had a ton of sellers, but even this pulling back up into that 8-period moving average, it's less volume. So I don't expect them to truly push us back up. They're just, it's the next leg down that we talked about on Friday or on Thursday, right? They're going to put that next leg in down and then put the lower low in, bring it back up, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, until we put in a higher low with sustained volume and sustain higher highs to higher lows. And, I can't switch my bias. Let's look at right here. I mean, a lot of people say there's a correlation between Litecoin and Bitcoin, right? And look, you can see here, sell off, boom. And we're coming up to this next hour period, right? So we're about to see another turnover here at 9 o'clock here. Are you serious? Have they changed it now? Give me a second. That is so funny, bro. They changed
Your time zone?
No. And they changed the switch time. That's wrong for them to do that, because it was the only thing that you could actually follow that were on the correct time. Look at them. They're scumbags, bro. That's scummish.
Who can do that?
Only TradingView. That is scummish. The crypto used to trade on the correct time frame, so you could see the correct zones. Now they went through and they have changed up the timing of the switch of the time frames. Dude, they're such scumbags, bro. And for real, dude, that's scummish for them to do that. Anyways, dude, this is why I think, and see, this is where people get pissed with this They want all the money. That's the issue. Is they want all the money, and they just want to make sure they just use you as a milking cow.
Pedro the milking cow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you
Well,
very much.
no,
Try the wheel.
no, not me. I'm no milking cow. At least I can see, but it's scummish in that the rest of you guys won't be able to see, and you guys got to put all this extra work to actually. And they used to do it. Used to be on the correct time frame.
What do you mean? What is the correct time frame?
Remember, I talked about the market transitions every 8 hours, right? You have the Asian market, then you have the London market, and then you have the U.S. market, and the U.S. market closes things off. Okay, so they trade every 8 hours, and then you have an overlap of the American, or you have the overlap of the Asian market to the London market, and from the London market to the American market, right? Like that. There was a 3-8 period, and in that you have pre-market and post-market movements, and so you could actually see the transition between it on every 8 hours. But now you can see here that they no longer, you see how this candle here on this 4 hour is only 1 o'clock. It used to be 12 o'clock, but they changed it. And so now
I see what time you're talking about.
Yeah, so now you cannot see the correct zones being put in. So,
well, I'm sure the Twitter universe or TradingView forums would be all over this.
Most people don't understand. This is what frustrates me. Most people don't understand the idea of a sequential turning in the market on an hour to a daily base, and why that is so important.
Well, put the 8-hour chart on.
It's not going to work. It's still because the
Carmen Crypto says, hello, Chumbalones. Welcome, Carmen, to the Bitcoin Destruction Show.
Listen, this is as important as you getting the correct metrics or the right heating point to your armored vehicles in relationship to the metals and the strength of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how important that this is. That's how important it is, what I'm bringing up. And most people don't even understand that. But I thought it was cool that they just kept it, but they've transitioned it now to 1 hour off, which throws off all the important time frames. And they purposely do it. Most people don't even realize this, that how important it is. It's the difference between you getting stopped out 70% of the time versus 30% of the time. That's how big it is. Anyways, so most people don't even understand. It's not even worth it for me anymore. I just whatever. Boom, boom. So we sit there. You can see here on the hour right here. That's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Just put in that wick here for the 8 hour wick for the bottom. So now that we're putting this in, most likely we're going to come down and tap that 50 period moving average to then come back down. So we're going to be playing around here for a minute until they fill up their bags of longs, i.e. their short positions, that they're able to reestablish their shorting positions. Just sad. Quite a morning, but very expected, right? We've seen this now.
Yeah,
right, Carmen?
That's true. I mean, Pedro has been calling this level for a long time. He didn't say for sure it was going down there. They said, but if the market, if nothing else changes in the market, the buyers are all down in this area, and the price will go to that area. And all it takes is just something to kick it off for it to happen a little sooner, and a little instability in the political and media news market.
Oh yeah,
caused the whole thing to kick off yesterday.
I mean, World War III with Iran and Israel.
Those idiots. These people are such idiots.
Dude, it's crazy. Like what we're seeing
World War III. I mean, the local militia from down the street can take care of that country. I mean, come on.
Iran?
Yeah. I mean, it's people that don't understand militaries. Pedro, what you were in the military. What do the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, and to some extent Russia have in common with each other that no other country has in the military terms. And I'm not
Nukes?
talking nuclear weapons or anything like that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say nukes. Um, they all have big ass, like really
No,
big.
I'll simplify it for you. We have what's called an expeditionary force military. Means we can conduct warfare. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, and to some extent Russia. They're not as good as they used to be. We're able to project force and conduct warfare anywhere on the planet. We have the logistics. War is won by logistics and full bellies and stomachs, and so we have the ability to conduct warfare anywhere in the world at our full might and power. Iran has the ability to conduct war in their own cities and streets. They don't have. I mean, we destroyed in the 1980s. We destroyed half their navy in an hour, just because we needed to. They were shooting up a bunch of ships and they were trying to hijack a bunch of other things, and the U.S. Navy just went in and took care of business, and half their navy was gone within an hour, and it only took about 6 airplanes. Obviously, the times are different now, but the weapons are different now too, and so it's just nonsensical for people to say the U.S. is going to be in World War III with them. No, it'll be an hour-long affair in which we're like, all right, are you guys done now? Are you gonna shut up?
It's that. I mean, I knew we were pretty badasses, but I mean, to an extent, though, is that if you see the whole entire Middle East rally behind Iran because big bad.
Yeah, but remember that the Middle East, Iran is Shiite, and the rest of them are Sunnis.
Are Sunni,
They
yeah,
have no
you're
love for
right.
each other.
You're
They just have
right.
no love for each other.
It's like the difference between Armenianism and Calvinism. They're supposed to love each other, dude. But this is, the two branches of Christendom that psychological views. It's like the difference between like Roman Catholics and Protestants.
Right.
There's literally big wars that have been
Lots
fought
of
over.
wars have been fought over that crap.
Yeah, and we talk to any Irishmen, and they'll sit there and be like, "Bloody hell!" It's
Still, like my family members from back home in the day, back in the home country, they're still stupid in the head about that.
Yeah.
Even now, it started when people actually believed God controlled their whole lives via little strings, and if you didn't do something, you would get punished on a daily basis. And now, they're still like, oh, I saw you drinking Jameson, not Powers. Oh my God, have you switched to the other side? And we're like, how about you just shut up? Doesn't matter.
They're like, I like Jameson. It tastes good. Like, how about that? How about that? Meet me outside, right? Meet me outside. How about that? And that's the difference between Shiite and Sunni. I forget that a lot because I think, but that's a big deal. They're very liberal. Sunnis are much more liberal than Shiites. I mean, this is where the hijab, right, issue comes in. They can, in some places in Dubai, you can a woman can unravel her hair. So it's like,
no, in Dubai, people wear mini skirts and high heels. That's all right. The
even
Emirati
if they're full
women,
Muslim,
the Emirati women do not. Because they're
excuse me.
But there's plenty of Muslim. The Turkish, the Saudis come there.
Yeah,
and they come there to escape their country for the weekend and have some fun.
Very much so. So you're right. I always forget about that. But the idea, though, is still there that it brings some upheaval. And anything that happens in Israel, right, in war and things that potential always affects the market at large, regardless of whether it's really substantiated or not.
All right, Carmen, if you're still listening, what in the world is going on with Carmen Crypto? Let us know.
Where is she at today?
But anyway, while she's contemplating answering us, Pedro, this is like if you do the zoom out to the the weekly chart or something like that, or monthly.
Sir. Here we go.
Yeah, take a look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. Zoom out further, like so we can see more history.
Oh, you mean that right there, like that? Okay, like this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I moved So look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I can't point to it today. We're still up near the top of this thing. It's look at it compared to 2018, 2019, 2021,
Yeah.
2022. We're right at the, still at the tops of the market. We're all the way up here still. So there's a long way down, and a lot of money needs to come out of this market for really bad things to happen with the price of Bitcoin and all that. And so you're going to hear the doom on the Twitter X universe now, whatever it's called. You're going to hear all these bad stories and all the crypto things. It's going to be nonstop AI written stories about cataclysmic events, crash, super crash, all that type of stuff. But always remember to zoom out. Zoom out, and you will see that you're still doing well. If you're holding for a long time, you're doing well. If you're someone has a long-term view of the market, you're doing great. I'm going to get a call from my mom. I know it. Hey, I see Ethereum. She tracks Ethereum. Ethereum's down to 2,600. I'm like,
yes.
buy some.
We talked about this. Remember, I was going to bring that up as well. Ethereum came down to our area that we were talking about on Friday. And we talked about how potentially this could come down to this area here. Right. And sure enough, man, like it was
right down into it.
Boom. Yeah. So looking really nice. And honestly, that good leg right here, man, that huge sell-off is a great area, man. I mean, it legit like half the value of it. I mean, when was Thursday? This is Friday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So up in this level, when we were still sitting around that 20 or 32, 33, I was talking about potentially coming down here. I thought it would take about a week and a half, right? But man, look, this thing just dropped off the cliff, man. And that leg there is hot. Like that's a hot leg. Like seeing this come up the way it did.
Legs.
The only thing is I always talk about is look, we're not really putting a lot of seller wicks here at these lower levels. So excuse me, buyer wicks. So again, it probably is going to go back up to these upper levels to drop back down. But still, as you can see, as we're pushing up, we don't have a lot of volume to the upside. So that's a potential turnaround marker for you to be paying attention to. And we're probably going to be playing off of that 50 period moving average, which is that 2707-ish area on the 1 hour, 2 hour-ish area right here. So this is important to just be looking at. And that's it. And yeah, dude, actually real quick, while we're seeing a sell-off of the altcoins, this is a perfect time to be looking at altcoins and DCAing, because I mean, XRP, we saw it push up, come back, sell off. Again, whether you like them or not, they are a banking entity. So, I don't see it going away. Just potentially you can make smaller gains, but it's still doing what it's doing. So it's actually kind of nice.
Let's see Matic.
Yeah, I was going to say Matic, dude. Matic hit our lower level, actually almost hit our lower level here. I thought we were going to come down to that 31. We came down to the 38 cent mark area on Thursday.
What's its current price? 38?
38? Yeah, it's 38 cents, 38.44. So, and on Thursday, we talked about this coming down to these lower levels as well. The other one I want to bring up, Solana. Solana is looking pretty hot to tot. I love the fact that where we're sitting right here, we're coming down to that 400 period, that 94 to 90, 94 to 79 cent area, or 94 to $97 area here. I like these at this level here. The other part, TRX is finally starting to sell off. They were showing strength, man, like nobody's business. Finally starting to see some sell-off. So I'm really hoping to see it come down to that 10 cent mark again, where I can buy a little bit more. Matic came down. I'm again looking for that 34 cent area, 31 cent-ish area is where I'm looking at. DOT has sold off through this $5 mark, and potentially we could see this thing come back down to the complete lows. So either way, these are great prices, like really good prices of these major blockchains here. So I like that 360 mark area, good pricing, $4 mark. Again, we're blowing through these like they're hot cakes. AVAX, again, AVAX came down, touched that next level here that we were talking about. So here is the level it bounced off on. We saw it come back up, and I said I expect to see this thing kind of show a little weakness. We blew through our supply area, but we still found demand or supply up in these moving average. So it was kind of a culmination of both, where we then saw the sell-off to come down to now this area of that 18 to 15 cent mark. I could start to put up a bag here up at these levels, right? Start calling $100, $200, and then potentially ready for a $11 $10 AVAX. Shiba Inu came down to our area here that we've been talking about now for almost like a year, right? You can see here we came down directly into that zone, 401088, right? It came back and flew off of it. So this is looking really sexy for us, as we were talking about. I forgot to make this into a flip zone. Boom. Probably this next time around when we come and tap this is not going to act as a strong zone, because we saw a bounce, then a sell through, and then a retracement as a flip zone down. So as we come down, this is good area to be buying the dip, right? The fact that we put in a second low here, this could be potentially just a dead cat bounce on this before we go down even further. So I'm looking to be picking up more at that 1088 to 1000 mark ish area for SHIB. I hope Zach saw this, man, when we did this. I do.
I don't think so.
Man, all these guys that I liked, I wish they would pay attention to us.
Now, obviously, a lot of these projects all hit the same zones that you called out, because they heavily follow the Bitcoin chart, because the institutions trade baskets of stocks to broaden their risk, and so when Bitcoin takes the dump, everything else takes the dump to some extent too. But like last week, I was trading Kaspa. Kaspa is doing its own thing for a while. It was going up. It formed a nice flag. I got into it. I made a little bit of money on it. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to pay attention to this. And as you know, once you get familiar with a chart and understand its patterns, you can, as soon as you look at it again, you can get up to speed quicker. And so I was trading Kaspa, and I had a Bitcoin over here on this screen and Kaspa on this screen. And they're doing different things. One's going up, one's going down, one's going up, the other's going down, the other's blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, I notice they're doing the same thing. And I look over and I see that the order books in Kaspa are really thin all of a sudden. So either the big traders or the market makers stepped away from Kaspa. And I was like, oh, clear my position. But slowly, because it's thinner, I'd get a bad price. That's another lesson we need to teach people, is in things other than Bitcoin, is you need to look at the order books on exchanges to make sure you don't get a really bad fill. And sure enough, all of a sudden they started moving in concert together. And like Bitcoin would click down, Kaspa would click down faster than you could with the mouse, and like try to front run the transaction. And I'm like, they're moving in sync. The big people came out of the market, so they know something's going to happen. And sure enough, the market moved right after that, and Bitcoin took a dump. Not this current one. It was like, a small one last week. And then Kaspa did right away too. And I was like, that's interesting. That was really interesting.
Let's actually talk about it real quick. I'm just gonna do a little
I have only about 5 minutes, by the way.
Let's just do a quick storm. So Algorand, we're down at our lower level of 11 cent. Actually zoomed down all the way down to around 10 cent mark. Good area. I like this area. I'm looking to be buying. Same thing with Altura. This is another one that I've been looking at. This one right here is, I forget what this one is. What's APT? I forget.
Aptos?
Aptos, thank you. This one is down below our lows here. I'm looking to be buying from here to see what's happening. Arbitrum here is coming down to, I actually had this level here when it first launched on its launch day. I said, somebody asked me, because it went all the way up and it was all the way up here. like the $3, $2 mark. And they're like, how far do you think it's going to go? So I looked on its day and I said, we should see it come down to the 38 cents area. And they're like, there's no way we will ever see that price. And I go, well, at least around there. And he was like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Well, we're down at the level. And so I'm definitely looking to be buying Arbitrum down at these lower levels. Great price, right? And just a good, for down the road, it's a good area to be purchasing it. I like this area. 30 cents to 12 cent area is my area here. Cosmo, the same thing. Cosmo is actually coming down to our lower levels here, which is even better. So this is that $4 to $3 mark ish, not four. It's 3.368 to 2 or 328 ish area. So we come down here. I'm definitely looking to be buying Cosmo at these levels here. My good old guy here, Crow is definitely coming back down. We just put down that second leg here. So almost hit my 6 cent mark ish area. Almost sad I didn't get it, but I want to see this thing. I'll be definitely be buying up dollars of this here real soon. Once we tap that $6 mark for me, or 6 cent area, to me it's just a buy no matter what. Like boom, I'm buying Crow at those levels.
Pedro loves his Crow.
I feel like they have so much going on. They have a huge customer base. You know what I'm saying? People have got to buy Crow to use their blockchain and decentralized blockchain, just like with Base, right? I wish Base really had its own coin as well.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I won't say any names because I'll get angry and they'll hate me again. I was in one project that was languishing in their own little part of the web crypto world.
Yep.
And the price was way down. Price of the underlying asset was way down. And I complained, and they were not happy about complaining, but someone's got to do it. I didn't complain. I was like, what's the plan? And all of a sudden, the underlying asset 2x's goes up from, say, 1 to 2. And I'm like, great. That means the token that I was in should go up that much too, because its liquidity pair is paired with it. And it went down.
Yep.
And I look at the chart, and there's no real selling. And I'm like, well, what games are being played? Well, it turns out not any games being played. They were just the token was tired of the first underlying asset. And they started bridging over to Base. Well, Base is based on Ethereum.
Yeah, so when Ethereum goes down.
And Ethereum is dropped more by percentage-wise than anything else in the market.
Yeah.
It's getting absolutely hammered. And they started getting over there as fast as they can. And I was like, wait a minute. Just as the other one starts going up, you go to one that goes down. It's like selling, you wait a year.
Oh man.
And all of a sudden you see signs of hope. And then they're like, nope, we got to go over here. And then I'm like, but that's based on Ethereum. And we all know Ethereum's going down. Bitcoin's going down. It's like, there's no hope.
Oh, that's so funny. What does Mike say? What's the outlook on Pepe, Pedro-Damus? Let's check out Pepe here real quick.
Carmen says, Watcher Guru just posted 1.2 trillion liquidated from crypto in the last 24 hours.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot of money going into the pockets of the market makers. Remember, the liquidated, for you people, the money's not just lost, like, oh, it's lost and gone forever. It just went to someone else's pocket. It came out of your pocket and go to someone else that's smarter than you, or faster, or both. And so the people that made all the money were the people that had the shorts in, because they knew this market was coming.
All right, so let's check out Pepe here. Pepe came down to our zone here. As you guys can see, it's that, how many zeros is that? 1, 2, 4.
I do not have a Pepe logo up here.
5. So 50633, and it's 592. So it came down to our zone. So a nice little bounce back. It blew through that 200 period moving average like like a tornado through a trailer park, man. It just demolished it. Look at that. Bam. Came back through. So we'll see what happens. But it came down to our zone. Oh, Pepe ETH. My bad. Let's check out Pepe ETH. Pepe ETH. Spot USD. Wrapped Ether on Ethereum. Let's try with this. I think this might be it right here. Is this it? Mike?
I don't know.
I think so. Wrapped Ether on Ethereum. I think this is it right here. Yeah, we came down to that 400 period moving average. I would sit there and say,
Hey, Carmen, explain your comment a little bit. The number of trading platforms that have shut down is a reminder if we cannot allow. What do you mean by shut down? Like out of business, or the ones that like Robinhood today that had too much volume and they had to stop trading?
Same thing with Schwab. Schwab did the same thing as well. Like people.
I might add, Bitfi had no problems. They traded like a champ all the way through the night, even with their 20 million people in Asia on their platform.
I love it. You guys keep that up and running. I can get behind that and sell that, just so you know. Like, just say that you guys never closed down. You guys are up and running. You guys can handle volume like nobody's business. Y'all can handle volume like a mule going up a hill, baby. Let's go. Here we go. Like,
well, in Robinhood's defense, I mean, they have a lot more products. I mean, they have a very deep options market, and options pricing requires a lot of horsepower on your computers.
Yeah. Agreed. Or am I, dude? What's on Bitfi? Crypto Mike says.
Sometimes Crypto Mike's comments
are delayed. Gotcha. All right.
Or he just mistypes it, and one letter makes all the difference. Or Mike's brain is working a little faster or slower than ours. So
you're shorting some Pepe. Yes. So on ETH against here, man, I would sit there and say it's bouncing off that 400 period moving average here. It's actually showing pretty decent strength here. But I'm still more bearish based off of, yeah, so you can see here that 8 period is kind of holding resistance. I could see us coming up into the $2 mark though, 212. But after that, it's game time. You should see then that 8 period step in right here on the daily. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens at this level here, that 225, 219-ish area on this chart.
And to Mike, you're definitely not dumb. Definitely not dumb. You know what you need to do in life, and you're getting through it.
There we are. Boom. Here we go. So I like that area here, ish, like this, like 216 to 228 area on Pepe to short that on ETH. That's definitely an area I would be looking for. Let's see if we can line up some lines. Yep. Boom. Yep. Boom. Yep. We got a bunch of lines there. So that's a good area. I like this area around here. Like I said, that 216 to 228-ish area. Trade accordingly with your, like I said, singles and doubles, singles and doubles. Right, and then you'll get you'll have money to be able to get a triple, and then you have money to be able to play a home run, right? And then you just keep doing that, and compound interest. That circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
All right, I dropped your screen off. I have to get going here. I just got the evil eye from Mrs. that we need to get on the road here. But I quickly I can't finish up without sharing my screen in what I'm doing here. I have a little trade on here, Pedro. A very little one. And I don't know why I can't see it here. Oh, okay. I wanted to show everybody that I have two positions on here. One, if you can see all the way over on the right, I feel like Pedro there. All the way over on the left-hand side of the screen, it says I have two positions, both in Bitcoin. And if the fine print says USDT wallet and one says the bonus wallet. And I just wanted to show people that you can have two positions on if you have more than one wallet. And you can create a sub-wallet too and move some money into that. And so you can hedge. Say you have a big position on and you're actually up money. And you're worried about the market tanking, but you think it's going to go a little higher. You're able to employ hedging strategies. I know that's a little bit more complex, but it's another one of these tools that you can use for safety. And so if you have questions, and I keep saying this because I want to make sure we're dead clear about being safe in the futures markets, is that you are able to hedge your positions. And the bonus money, over here, I keep pointing, but I guess it's here. I don't know where it is. The bonus money, remember, is the money you can get from BitFi to trade and make a trade on it. And you can see right now, I've got a $112 in margin being used from the wallet. I'm at 20x leverage, and I'm up $7 right now. And I'm going to actually close those out because I'm going to stop paying attention to the market right now and take my $8 and my $7 as a win.
There you go. It's a single right there.
It's a single right there. And as I say, I've got to get going here. Crypto makes his later, dude. So I am going to put the Manila chill on.
Manila chill. Good to have everybody. It's been a pleasure. And, see you guys tomorrow.
We'll be here, same bad channel, normal time tomorrow, about 12:30, somewhere there. Pay attention to everything and enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on behalf of Pedro Garcia and I. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. As always, I'm so glad to have hosted another great episode of DYOR Live. Remember, be safe out there if you're trading perpetuals. Always use stops. You need to employ a hedging strategy too, and always ask questions. Make your own decisions. It's not Pedro and I telling you how to invest your money. You make your own decisions. And with that, Pedro and I got to go. Enjoy the day, ladies and gentlemen.